What's up everybody, Simon here. In this video, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the crazy car market bubble that has finally popped. I'll give you some personal experiences with the car market bubble on used cars. I'll give you an idea of where it's headed, what we're expecting in the used car market, as well as new car pricing, what it means for the economy or as an indication of where the economy is. So before I get into this video, I always remind you guys to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you have not done so already, I truly appreciate it. It's the biggest favor you could do for me, and you should do me that favor. So let's get into this video. Okay, so we've all seen used car prices go through the roof. It's actually on par with gas prices, and it's just basically been a very difficult time to purchase anything nowadays, but especially used cars. So as an individual that had several used cars as part of a fleet for a business that I own, we were able to sell those used cars at a profit, and many people have also sold those used cars at a profit as well. So for example, a used Toyota Corolla was going for more in terms of prices than the MSRP sticker 3 years ago, which is incredible. So some of these cars that had a sticker of $21,000 was going for $21,500 on the used car market with some damage to the car and near 50,000 miles. It is an indication of inflation and a peak in the used car market, which is a bubble that's actually popping as we speak. So I had another car similar with similar mileage a month later that I tried to sell as well, and the sticker price was $21,000. I was offered $17,000, so $4,500 off from the peak just a month ago. And this was done with Carvana or CarMax, one of the two big buyers in used car prices, which I think actually have overbought their inventory. So during the pandemic, the prices of used car vehicles jumped up 45%, hitting an average of near 30,000 US dollars by the end of the year. And that was much faster than the price going up on a brand new vehicle. And because of the shortage of new vehicles, the used car vehicle prices have gone up higher. So it just put a lot of people competing for vehicles because they could not go to the dealer to buy new vehicles. A basic supply and demand curve where the supply has dropped, therefore the demand of used cars has increased. And what I think is going to be a factor in driving the prices down is not only the supply chain actually catching up with production on new vehicles. Now it hasn't fully rebounded. However, that's going to be one factor. The other factor is people can't afford to pay premium prices for used cars. Typically, used cars was a thing where you bought a car, and as soon as you walked off the lot with that car, you'd see a drop of value on the car, anywhere from 10 to 20% depending on the car, especially in the luxury car market. And that is no longer the case. However, the prices have gotten so high that people are not able to buy a used car relatively cheaper than a brand new car would normally sell for. The Wall Street Journal estimates that used car prices will be falling by potentially 30% in the given year. So those prices that were at $20,000 or so or even the $30,000 average are going to come down about $9,000 to $21,000, which is a big drop. So this creates a concern for all the private banks that were actually, or even credit unions that were actually giving loans on these premium used car prices purchases. So they're going to be in trouble potentially buying back vehicles on default payments of used cars that are no longer going to be current in their financial monthly statements. So imagine all these banks that finance these used car prices at $30,000 now acquiring vehicles that are actually worth $20,000 or so from a repo and having to sell it back at around $20,000, $19,000, etc., losing a lot of money. Now, this is not going to crash the banking system like it crashed the housing system in 2008 when the banks were underwater lending for homes that were way overpriced above the pricing average. And then when they were repossessing these homes in foreclosures, they were forced to sell off the homes at much lower values than they have given the loan out for. Therefore, they lost a lot of money, and several banks like Washington Mutual or WAMU went out of business, with Chase buying out pretty much all of their liquidity. So overall, the used car prices or market will not crash the banks simply because the values of the cars are much less than the value of homes. So in the 2008 case, homes were crashing hundreds of thousands of dollars below value. In the car market, you're talking majority, if an average is a $30,000 purchase, you might see a $10,000 loss. So the banks could potentially sustain that. So with the used car prices, unfortunately, we have the higher interest rates as well. So as the interest rate grows, and we may see a very high interest rate within the next 2 years, as the interest rate grows, used car prices and new car prices are going to go up. So an average new car price is around $750 on average. That is the highest we've ever seen because of the interest rates, because of the demand, and because of manufacturers actually increasing the MSRP and also adding money on top of the MSRP at the point of sale. There is just too much demand. So I am seeing Toyota and other manufacturers adding $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 to the sticker. And if you go into the exotic car market, we're seeing Porsche add about $50,000 to a GT3, and other manufacturers adding really crazy numbers to new car prices. Of course, they're raising the used car prices as well. And what's interesting is, even though we're seeing a crazy cryptocurrency crash, a stock market that's in the dips, we're still seeing luxury car prices stable, holding on, when we would think that all these individuals that had accumulated so much extra money through investments are probably at a loss right now. Yet the exotic car market, the used car market, is still remaining quite stable. So is it a good time to buy a used car? I'm going to say no. You are paying a premium on a used car. If you could wait it out, I would definitely wait it out. In fact, I would be more inclined to purchase a new car and wait for a new car, or possibly do a swap a lease on a car, because technically that car could be leased from 2 years ago with 1 year left on the lease. You could get somebody's lease on a car that you like, pay the old interest rates on their lease if they're looking to get out of their lease, and have a vehicle to wait this period out. If you could wait this period out on the used car market, you're going to put yourself in a much better financial situation to buy a used or new car down the line once the supply chain catches up, once people's demand for used car prices drops because of supplies or possibly higher interest rates. But overall, you should probably wait on purchasing a used car right now. If you are in the car market, buy a new car instead. If possible, try to avoid paying all of those premiums or on top of the sticker prices that your dealer is wanting to charge you. So there is no way that a 40% year-over-year increase in car prices is sustainable, and this is why we had the used car prices bubble. This bubble will definitely burst because cars are depreciating assets. They're not appreciating assets in most cases unless you have some collector cars that are one-offs in the world, exotic cars, etc. So if you own a very mass production vehicle that is produced in large quantities, in the future your vehicle probably will not be worth anything unless you park that vehicle in your garage and open your garage doors in 50 plus years and it's a collectible in excellent condition. So overall, the used car prices are through the roof. I would stay away from used car prices. The bubble has popped. It's going down. I've personally seen it with some of the vehicles that we have, and the luxury vehicles in some of those markets are also not getting what they could have been getting in terms of used car prices. So for example, I had a friend that was trying to sell a BMW 540M. So a BMW 540M is almost like a M5 BMW, and that value between what CarMax was offering or Carvana and what the individual owned as a buyout was just so little that it was not worth it. In my cases, what we owed on the value or on the sticker of the car versus what the buyouts were and versus what the offers were through the roof, because those were more in-demand vehicles that more people would purchase, such as a Corolla, a hybrid, or anything of that matter that would save on gas. So the final question is, does gas affect used car prices as well as car prices? Absolutely. So if you're paying $8 or $7 a gallon, you're probably not buying a truck or a big SUV, or considering not buying a truck or a big SUV. In fact, you're probably leaning towards electric at this point, which I am doing. In fact, I have a Cybertruck on order. So when that comes out, I'll probably be buying the Cybertruck and be happy with that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this used car pricing bubble. Stay away from used cars if you can. Give me a like if you like this video. Comment below on anything to add to the video. I read the comments, so do others. It's a great discussion that we could have, and I'll catch you here in the next video.